Are we on? Oh, okay, because I'm not seeing it on the monitor. Could you put the what? I know, but I'm just saying I can't see on the monitor. I mean, the monitor's up, but I'm just saying that. Oh, there you go. Thanks very much.
You are.
All right,
looking so
yeah,
good.
there you go. Hey, everyone, welcome to. Yeah, exactly. I need to see how I look because if one hair is, I'm a perfectionist, Larry. If one hair is out of place, that's a problem for me. I'm a perfectionist and a professional. And my look is intentional. All right, Jimmy the Bag. Jimmy's look, I suspect, is a little bit less intentional than mine, but that's okay. That's what makes the tension of the show so compelling. Oh, Jesus Christ! What a fucking life, man. Welcome to SBR Sports Picks. My name is Peter Loshak. His name is Jimmy the Bag. This is Loshak in the Bag show for a Tuesday morning. 12 o'clock Eastern time. Jimmy the Bag and I, of course, go over all the line moves every day. Jimmy the Bag, of course, killing it in NHL. Very exciting time right before the NHL playoffs start. And, of course, made even more exciting by futures odds for the playoffs and specific first-round series results, which we will get into as soon as they're out. I didn't even check to see if they're out yet at Pinnacle, but it can be if you don't want to lay a big number, you can take a lot. You can swing for the fences and bet on an exact series result, which sometimes can have the best value of them all, right, Jim?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Do you ever bet specific? Do you just bet who's going to win the series, or do you ever bet specific or series outcomes?
I don't generally bet outcomes. I have a friend who does and can and is very successful. I find hockey is the sport that I try to simplify as much as possible. Other sports I can get a little creative, but I do my best work in NHL when I simplify everything.
Yes, very, very nice. All right, so here we go. Let me just pull out the pop-out chat here so I can save all the comments and review them every day, which as regular viewers of the show know, it's what I live for. It's all I live for. I don't live for money. I don't live for broads. I don't even live for good sports picks, although that's a close second. It's these friggin' comments. that I live for, and once again, it's Jimmy the Bag. I'm actually I'm chugging along in MLB. I had another win. I had some losers in MLB for sure, but overall, my picks yesterday, another half unit up.
Nice
you know
work.
what I'm saying, Jim? So overall, I'm doing well in MLB, chugging along. That was stupid of me to try to take a shot with the over in the Minnesota-Houston game. Jimmy the Bag, great job on that one. I tried to get cute. It was cold out. Justin Verlander obviously is in peak form right now. He's a freaking reliable veteran in peak form. You don't really want to bet against that in any situation, right, Jim?
No, and I also think that Lance Lynn can give us some value moving forward. I always go back to these veterans are great in cold weather, and it's these 22-year-olds that seem to buckle in those situations. But
I guess, but why just cold weather? Hot weather probably too. They just know how to, or just hot weather fell everyone for all comers.
When your hands start sweating,
freezing, that's right.
That's a different animal. But you can trust offense at least in hot weather, so you can try and simplify things as well. Baseball did not go very well for me yesterday, but NBA did. And it was nice. I really needed it. As you guys know here, I went from about 18.6 units up to about 3 units up. So I would like to. I have a chance at double digits to end the season now, and that would be fine. If you ask me, would you be fine ending the year up 10 units? I would say yes.
Totally, I'd be fine ending the year up a half of a unit or 1/10 of 1 unit. Anything positive for me, done. Absolutely consider myself have mission accomplished there. I'm told by Larry that we are having a problem with the records, so we're not going to be able to show the records. But once again, we're killing it in NHL all year long. And NBA, yes, yesterday NBA was a nice. I believe you were 4-1 or 5-1, 5-1,
yes,
6-1.
No, I think it was just 5-1. I believe.
Okay, 5-1. Yes, he had one loser yesterday. All the rest were winners. And of course, when we talked out the Clippers game, we came to the conclusion that the team total under was the best way to go on that one, which I think in retrospect was the case. I wound up throwing on the under on that one as well, which cashed. And again, my leans yesterday, the Denver under was an easy casher. The Miami under was not an easy casher, but it did cash. Once again, my leans were very good in NBA yesterday. And what's so funny?
Carlos Barrage. I like getting one on King Rail. He's a great capper, and so my Nuggets took out his Blazers.
That's right, but that one was close, wasn't it?
It was very close. 88-82 final. The under would have been the play. And King Rail's an incredible NBA capper. Just nice to get one on him. I do blame the great Dan Kelly for getting me off the Pelicans.
Yes.
And I love Dan. And Dan's made me way more money than he's taken from me. But I do blame the great Dan Kelly.
Didn't Dan Kelly say he was going to bet the Pelicans on
No, he said Clippers, money line.
Clippers. That's right. The Clippers money line. Right.
The great Dan Kelly, who makes me much more than he takes from me. And also, Carlos Parage says, ask Pete about the whole milk. Mm-hmm. Need info for his cheesy balls.
Yeah. I talked yesterday. In yesterday's show, yesterday was kind of a weird show, but there was one great analogy I made. And I was like, think of your bet sizing, the amount you bet on every game, as analogous to the percentage of fat in milk. You know what I mean? If you feel like indulging a little bit, go for whole milk, which is 3.5% fat. Skim milk, what is it? 1%. You got 1%, you got 2% milk, but you never want to fucking drink milk that's 10, 15, 30% fat, and you should never want to make a bet that's 10, 15, 30% of your bankroll. I think that's a very good sort of device to remind you of how you should be betting. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's excellent. I really do. And it's easy to remember. Also, we have our man Larry with us today. Mm-hmm. I love Larry. And I said to Larry when we started, I was like, man, Larry, I want you to big up yourself, man. Mm-hmm. Step up your game. Everybody loves you. He said, nobody loves me. He said, everybody hates me. And here, Maxwell Smart goes, Larry. Mm-hmm. You got Max on your side, Larry.
4 times, man.
Maxwell Smart, whom I love.
Yeah, Miss J says warmer weather in Wisconsin. Pete, I'm just saying, Peter Loshak, we have yet to hit 40-degree weather. Yes, that is true. Yeah, I mean, a lot of times when you're sitting in sunny paradise of Costa Rica, it's a little bit hard to remember. Yeah, it's hard to freaking hit a baseball in 39-degree weather, right, Jim?
Yes, definitely. And I have things are changing for me in this beautiful climate of Costa Rica. Because now, when it's not sunny, I get very depressed. Mm-hmm. And I'm from Vancouver, where it rained all the time. I didn't give a fuck. Mm-hmm. But for some reason, when you get used to sunshine, and then they take it away, it's very depressing.
All right, so overall, things are going relatively well in this show. I'd like to be grinding out a few better units than I have been doing in baseball, which has been about a half unit or a unit a day. But let's get into it, Jimmy the Bag. Let's get into MLB for today's card. I'm looking over today's card. Okay, once again, let's start with the 2 games in Chicago, Tampa Bay, White Sox. I will admit that I did bet the White Sox here. I don't know whether I want to give it as a pick, but I did bet him at plus 104 on the overnight line. Snell, obviously, when he's not having control issues, is lights out. But Fulmer is solid as well, and I think I like the White Sox here as a small underdog. I don't know if I want to give it, but that was definitely a bet that I made. And Pittsburgh against the Cubs. This is a tough one. Rizzo, of course, is out for the Cubs, which is a knock for them. Pittsburgh's bullpen very well rested, and their lineup so far very balanced, very effective, very productive. Nova, in general, I don't trust going forward, but I think I like Pittsburgh late here. I don't know if I'd want to take the Cubs on the first 5, but I think I do want to take Pittsburgh on the second half. What do you think about either of these games, Jimmy DeBag?
Well, I like Fulmer, and I think that you will be ahead of the market with your analysis there, following him. But I'm looking for a bounce-back game from Blake Snell.
Yeah.
And the line's quite small. I've already bet the Rays. I'm going to make them an official pick. Rays snapped their 8-game losing streak with yesterday's 5-4 win. Malik Smith had a career-high 4 hits, 2 stolen bases. He's now 7 for 20 on the year. They need him desperately. After firing a scoreless first start versus Red Sox, Blake Snell got lit up. Lit up by the Yankees, threw 3 in the third, 5 earned runs, 3 walks, 5 Ks. Stanton Sanchez hit homers off him. He had been 5-1 with a 2.59 ERA in his previous 11 starts. Opponents hitting 194 off him. I believe he will go back to that. He's dominated the White Sox in his career, not allowed to run in 9 1/3, including 6 2/3 effort last year. Rays are just hitting 220 and 610 OPS. White Sox excellent start seems like a distant memory. They've lost 4 straight. They're questioning themselves. They've been outscored 21-12 during the skid, 0-4 to start the season at home for the first time since '87. Fulmer looked okay in his first start. And the White Sox are hitting lefties quite well this year. So I think it's a nice play, but I'm going to take the bounce back from Snell. I think Snell will be a big pitcher this year.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jim. I'm just not totally sure what we're going to see from in this specific start, but we'll line chop for you right now. We can give you minus 108 at Pinnacle. Jim's going to take Tampa Bay money line minus 108, right, Jim?
Yep.
All right, and then the Pittsburgh Cubs game is an interesting one. I am going to take the Pirates on the second half minus 110. I've had some success with the second half plays, generally in my career and this year as well. I don't really want to take Pittsburgh, even though it is tempting to take them at, in the plus 140s with no Rizzo. But, I'm a little bit afraid of Chatwood. I'm a little bit afraid of betting on Ivan Nova. And so I'll just stick with the second half. I'm going to take Pittsburgh second half money line minus 110 against the Cubs. What do you think of that, Jimmy the Bag?
I agree completely. I don't really trust Chatwood, although I'd like to. And if he shows me today that we should start trusting him, 6 walks is just very uncomfortable. And I don't trust Ivan Nova. I'm going to stay off this game. Going to be cold. Pirates had an excellent start to the year. Nova has not looked good. Didn't look good in the spring. Pirates lead the league in hitting. And missing Rizzo is a big deal to this Cubs offense because it hasn't gone on track. So Cubs are hitting .223 with a .699 OPS so far. Chatwood looked great. Chatwood looked great in the spring. I expect Chatwood to be good. I just need to see a little more.
Yes, I mean he's going to have to get his. Obviously, any starting pitcher needs to get their control under control. Otherwise, they're going to have problems. And Chatwood has had problems with his control in his career and in his first start this year. So that's a bit of a question mark. Let's get to some comments, and then we'll move on to some other games. Let's see. Ski Prophet says, "You guys trust Pirates bullpen?" No, in general, no. I don't trust the Pirates bullpen, but I think in this situation, it'll be a little bit different, and I'm going to take it. Let's see. Tomarino Tomar says Chatwood's ERA away from Coors last 3 years is under 3, but I don't want to bet pitchers off their routine. Nova's had control issues, yes, and I would also be leaning over in this game as well.
That's what Mr. Gokster's on. And you're right. Of course, 2.57 ERA on the road last 2 seasons, away from home, second lowest in the National League. But I don't expect these 2 pitchers to shut down these 2 offenses.
Whoa, it's 8.5? I bet it at 7.5. Holy shit. Wow. I was about to give 7.5 as a play, but now it's all the way up to 8.5. Damn. Fuck. I got to tweet the shit out, Jim.
You got to. I knew I had to this morning with the situation. I'm going to start doing it heavy because I got to take advantage. I'm up at 3:45 in the morning. I should take advantage of that spot.
And we're just losing line value. I know yesterday I said I was going to do it, and I didn't. And when we get to the rest of the MLB card and even the NBA card, you'll see there's some plays that I took on the opening lines that have definitely moved strongly in my favor, which means now if I want to give them as official pick, I'll have to take a shittier line. And, of course, in this show, we give up to the second lines, which is, I think, one of the reasons people appreciate this show, Jim.
Mr. Gokster, happy too, got 7.5.
Oh, fuck.
Twatty says cold weather being killing overs. And then everyone liking Elio Rodriguez's play. Elio Sharp Capper says, I'm on reverse run line, Pirates -1.
That's nice too. Definitely. I mean, I like the Pirates here. I think there's value with the Pirates. And then Dom Ricci says the Pirates team total over, which is also interesting. Let me see. Damn. The Pirates team total over would be about 4. All right, Jim. I bet it at 7.5. I was expecting to give it at 7.5. Now it's up to 8.5. Should I give it? The only way I'll get screwed by this if it lands on 8, which of course is a distinct possibility.
I don't think you should give it because if you lose, it'll make you so much angrier.
On the other hand, Intertops does. Oh no, Intertops just moved from 8.5 to from 8 to 8.5.
I don't think you should. I think that you like if this just moves you to start because everyone loved. I put out the Hornets this morning at 4:30, and I got a ton of response from people saying, thank you for waking me up with this, thank you for getting me on this early.
Really?
Yeah, more than I expected.
Oh.
So I think that if this just leads you to start tweeting things out in the morning, you'll get a ton of response from people because you wake them up to a play before maybe they're on it.
You're right.
I think it's great. I think it'll help everybody.
All right, I'm going to pass on the total. I did bet it at 7.5. Hope it cashes for everyone else in the comments section who seems to have already bet that one as I did at 7.5. I'm going to take Pittsburgh -1. Do I trust their bullpen? No, I don't. But in this spot, I'm going to take it. I understand why people would be liking Pittsburgh here on the money line or on the reverse puck line. I am a believer in Chatwood as of right now, but I think that's probably a solid play on the alternative puck line. The alternative run line for the Pirates. Let me just see what that would be right now at Pinnacle. It probably would be, I'm going to guess around plus 190 or something like that, the -1.5 line. Jimmy the Bag. Then let's quickly touch on the 6 o'clock game, which is Detroit at Cleveland. I'm holding off on Cleveland for right now. Their bats are obviously ice cold. They're not going to be that bad going forward, but I'm not exactly sure where we should expect them to regress to. I'm going to pass on that game while I look for some alternative run lines here. Why don't you tell us what you think about Detroit, Cleveland?
I've got a play that I really like in this game. But before I do, let me give a shout out to Medicine H20. Says, love these guys. Best fucking place to be on the planet.
Bullshit. If you're fucking around me, Jimmy the Bag, that is not cool.
I know how much this means to you.
If you're just trolling me, Jimmy.
I would never do that. I know how much this means to you.
If you're trolling me, Jim, that's not cool.
I would never do that.
Let me see if this comment is here.
I would talk about your treehouse or something like that. I wouldn't.
Where is this comment here, Jim? If you're trolling me, Jim, If you're trolling me.
It's a little up from my man Scotty Rock saying, sup with it, playa.
Okay, I'm looking for a Scotty Rock, sup with it, playa. Sup with it, playa.
It's about
Scotty Rock, sup with it, playa. All right, Jim, why don't you talk about that while I look for this comment? Why don't you talk about the Cleveland game, and then I'll try to find it. Look for sup with it, playa. All right, go ahead.
I'm on the Tigers' first five. I faded Josh Tomlin last start, and there's no reason to stop fading him, I think, at this point. And I don't trust the Tigers' bullpen. So I like this Tigers first five play. Cleveland's won 8 games in a row over Detroit, streak that started last season and continued Monday night with the Indians. 2-0 win the first game of this series. Since the start of 2016, the Indians are 28-10 versus the Tigers. I think this Indians team is an excellent ball club. And the fact that they're holding their own with their bats this ice cold just shows what a team they are. They're going to be very difficult to beat moving forward. I think the same with the Giants, but more so with the Indians. Josh Tomlin looked awful in his first start. Francona said he was dealing with back issues. He's being pushed. His start's being pushed back a day to get an extra day's rest. That makes me want to fade him even more. He allowed 8 hits, 8 earned runs, 4 homers in 3 innings. He finished spring training with a strong outing. But if he's dealing with back issues, if he's uncomfortable, if he's not on his regular routine, in 2 starts against the Tigers last year, he's 1-0, 4.35 ERA. He's got a career 5.19 ERA against him. Cabrera hits him very hard, 10 for 27, 2 homers. Indians aren't hitting. Last year they hit lefties hard. This year they're hitting 179, 579 OPS off him. Matthew Boyd looked excellent in his first start. He wasn't trying to do too much, not trying to strike anybody out. Just keep it simple. Last year he made 4 starts versus Cleveland with a 2.28 ERA. Tigers are hitting 216, 620 OPS, not very good, but I think Tomlin will help that. I'm on Tigers first 5.
Okay, great. I found the comment. Medicine H2O says, love these guys, exclamation point. Best fucking place to be on the planet, exclamation point. I'm gonna cry here, Jim. I'm gonna cry here, Jim. I'm so touched by shit. Thank you so much, Medicine H2O, for saying this is the best place to be on the planet. Thank you so much, Medicine H. Better than Paris? A lot of people love Paris. He loves the Loshak in the Bag show. Look at that. Look at that. All right, Jimmy the Bag. Let me just find all right, what do you want here? What do you want here?
I'm on Tigers first 5. I like this play quite a bit.
Tigers first 5 money line. Let's do line chopping. Of course, you always want a line chop. No, ooh, wow, really? Well, okay, wait, let me. Tigers first 5 plus 165, but they don't show. SBR odds doesn't show the friggin' pinnacle line, so we're definitely going to look for the pinnacle line here for you. Probably it's going to be a little bit better. Let's find it. Tigers first 5 will be plus 167. All right, we'll give you that one. Detroit first 5 plus 167. Okay, very interesting pick there, Jim. Tomlin, I guess, can get hit. When he gets hit hard.
I don't trust Tomlin, and I'm not going to. 33 years old, dealing with back pain. Just everything to me points like he's a guy who can get touched. I've always liked Matthew Boyd. He came up in the Blue Jays system. If he's not trying to do too much, I think we can find value against him. I think the Indians are a better ball club than the Tigers, and why would I give them 9 innings when I can only give them 5? I think I have a better chance in 5.
Absolutely. All right, let me just do a quick save here so I can read all these comments. All right, Jim's going to take Detroit first half plus 167. If I wind up agreeing with him on that one, I will definitely tweet it out. I got to start tweeting out more, and I think I will. I got to start beating these line moves. On the early games, I'm on only one play. Pittsburgh second half minus 110. Jim is on Tampa Bay money line minus 108, and Detroit first half plus 167. And let's get to some.
Can I give a quick shout out?
Yeah, go ahead.
My man Anna Marak. His name is Clint. So Clint, from watching our show and our NHL analysis, fell in love with the NHL. Went to his first Coyotes game about 2 weeks ago. He went on the over, and the Phoenix team total over. They won 6-0 in his first game. And now he says this weekend is the one headed to Vegas with the wife for Sports Betting Live Day. All thanks to you guys and this show.
Oh,
Clint,
man.
go to Vegas and get that fucking cash.
Yes, and have a good time. There's definitely times I would love to be married, Jimmy the Bag. Annie Marak. Shout out to Annie Marak. All right, let's review some comments that are handicapping only, and then we'll get to the rest of the MLB card. Let's see. Handicapping only. Let me see. Lance Dudek. This is one non-handicapping comment. Lance Dudek says, Loshak has only stinky hat. What does that mean? Loshak has only stinky hat. What does that mean? What the fuck does that mean, Jimmy the Bag?
I think it means that he's guessing that your hat smells.
Yeah, Lance Dudek, welcome to the show. Please become a regular viewer and commenter. We would love to have you, and if you wouldn't mind clarifying a little bit what the hell that means, that would be appreciated. Or if not, whatever.
I also know for a fact that you washed that hat last week.
I wash it all the time. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Scotty Rock Forever says Tomlin equals bum. I don't know if I'd go that far, but I understand. And yes, he might be a little bit injured here. Elio Rodriguez says Tigers, the over 3 is a sharp play. Is that where the team total is? It's an over. It's a 3. The Tigers team total over is 3. Let me just quickly check this here. The Detroit Tigers, I'm seeing 3.5 at Pinnacle. You might be able to get a 3 somewhere else, but interesting. That might be a play as well. Once again, I might have a play in this game, and if I do, I will tweet it out. It does start at 6:00, which is right when our 6 o'clock show starts. So let's see. Other comments coming in. Let's see. Twate Latte says Pete equals needy. Thank you, Captain Obvious. Thank you, Captain Obvious. Twate Latte. Captain Obvious comment of the day award to Twate Latte. Let's see. Andrew Goulet says Cleveland Tigers over 8.5. Mets and Diamondbacks. That might not be worth that may be a decent play. Cleveland Tiger, but do you trust Cleveland's offense right now?
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not whatsoever. There's no reason. Mm-hmm. I mean, at some point th're going to wake up, but let them do that before you put your money on it.
Yeah. Kobe Valentine says Boyd has pitched well versus this lineup. You might be onto something here, Jim, and I might wind up telling you, and I will tweet it out if I am. Justin Searcy says Detroit Pen is ass. That is absolutely true. Ron Walsek says Pete and Jimmy in all caps best show in the history of mankind. Motherfucker, Ron Walsek, thank you very much. I'm sorry.
The history of mankind.
We were just going. I was just going to give handicapping comments here, but I can't ignore a comment like that. I didn't even see it. Holy shit. Juan Walsek, thank you so much. I'm having a rough couple of years, and comments like these really make me not for my handicapping. Handicapping's doing fine. All right, let's see. Dom Ricci says I took the first 5 under in Boston. We will get to that game. Justin Searcy doesn't trust Tomlin. Other comments coming. Isaiah, score in the first inning of Yankees Boston. No, is Lockeroni and cheese.
Lockeroni.
Maybe I'll start to refer to those odds in these shows, because a lot of people love the first inning props. They're definitely very fun and interesting. They can be a little bit coin flippy. You're inviting a lot of variance in those kinds of bets, but they can also have value. And Isaiah likes no score in the first inning of Yankees Boston. Of course, that's Severino against Sale. Let's see, what else do we have here? Tomorino Tomor, once again, with an insightful comment. Pirates offense has been solid, but they have no one to protect Polanco right now, and he's been carrying them. Okay, so Tomorino expecting a regression from the Pirates offense, which I would expect as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, yeah,
you're absolutely right.
For sure.
Definitely.
Let's see, what else do we have here coming? Ulysses Hayes, I don't trust the Pirates in this series. I'm fading them. Okay. All right. Let's see. What else do we have here? DJ Big Boss liking the over in the Cubs game. Yes, as was I. And scanning in up. Underdog says Nola with the Phillies or 1.5. Underdog, we will talk about that game, of course. Elio Rodriguez is I'm on the reverse Pirates line, -1. Jay Scum leaning towards Pittsburgh. DJ Big Boss likes the first inning in the White Sox game. I'm not exactly sure which way, but tie first inning in the White Sox game. Okay. Let's see. Elio Rodriguez likes the Pirates. Yes. Ski Profit says, Pete, why do you like second half Pirates? Bullpen is 28th right now. I'm on Pirates first 5 money line. Wow. Ski Profit's betting on Nova against Chatwood.
There's nothing wrong with that. Chatwood has given us no reason to think that he's worth the $38 million that he's been given. But experts have been watching this guy and say he's worth that money, and he may be. But at this point, there's no reason. I don't think there's anything wrong with that bet.
That's absolutely right, Jim. Yes, there are scouts who have been saying that there's a reason why he got that big of a contract, and we're expecting good things from him. And listen, his starts away from Coors have been great.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Very, unbelievable.
Well, so what do you mean that we haven't seen? He hasn't given us any reason to believe it.
6 walks in his first start in the Cubs uniform. But maybe he's not mentally tough. Who knows? He couldn't pitch at home.
That's true. Good point there, Jimmy the Bag. Excellent point there, Jimmy the Bag. All right, so let's move on, Jimmy the Bag. How about this? Let's move on to the rest of the MLB card.
Let's do it.
I did jump on Philly with Aaron Nola. I'm going to take a -1 here. I know it's a massive line, but I'm just a believer in Nola. Cincinnati's offense, I'm not really a believer in right now. Homer Bailey obviously is who he is. He'll probably get touched at some point in this start. And I'm going to take Philly -1. It's going to be a big line. If I lose, I'm going to have to eat a unit 1.5, but that's only if Philly loses the game outright, which is possible. But I'm a believer in Nola here. Of course, this line opened, before last night's games at around minus 170, and now it's all the way up to a minus 200. The bet online has minus 198, and I'm doing it. What do you think, Jim?
I wanted to make that play. I switched off, I believe. No, I didn't switch off. Sorry, I switched off with the Mets to the team total. Yes, I'd like the Phillies. I'm going to take them on minus 1.5.
Really?
The Phillies, I think Homer Bailey's going to get worse and worse every start. I understand why he pitched so well in that opener. He's an old guy. He can handle pressure. But, he's throwing 2 no-hitters. I mean, the guy has credentials. But he just, as the seasons go on, he looks worse and worse and worse. Nola looked good in his first start. He's looked okay so far overall. 10 in the third, 7 hits, 3 earned runs, 5 walks, 7 Ks. Making his first start at Citizens Bank Park, I think he'll pitch well tonight.
Yeah. All right. I'm taking Philly minus 1. The money line, best line would be minus 198 at Bet Online, and the run line part of that will be plus 115. That's the line at Pinnacle. And Jim's going to take Philly run line plus 115. Be a little careful with these run lines in MLB, Jim. Of course, as you know, it's not like hockey. You're not going to get bailed out with an empty net run. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
And all right. So Jim's taking the run line here. I'm taking Philly minus 1. And the answer to everyone who's asking about Philly with Nola today is yes. We're biting. Let's see. Payless Way likes. It says Bailey is 1-6 in Philly. Donald Mao says Philly first 5. I can understand that, except the first 5 line is going to be bigger and you're paying higher juice. So, I think that if Philly is up nicely after the first 5 innings, it's a good bet to just have him win the game outright. So I'm going to take Philly on the minus 1 line. Let's see. Frank Alexander likes the Phillies game under, which is interesting. Okay. Justin Sushi says no value in that Philly game. You might be right. Payless Way likes the Philly run line. And Nate Dogg 420 likes the over in Philly, as Ish Kurt likes the team total over in Philly as well.
What is the team total over?
I'm going to guess it is 4.5. Let's just find it. Philly would be Philly team total would be, where is it? Let me see. Philly team total. Where is it? Come on. Philly team total is 4 minus 125 at Heritage.
It's
yes, that 4? Is very tempting. Yes,
4 minus 125.
4 minus 125 at Heritage. You want that one?
Oh,
Jim?
yeah.
Let me see what we have here at Pinnacle. Maybe we even have a better one. Let me see what we have.
I'm certain I was offered 4.5 on Bet365.
Yeah, it's 4.5 plus 103 at Pinnacle right now. But Heritage is 4 minus 125. You want that one, Jim?
Yeah. Let me just quickly see what Bet365 is hanging.
Okay, and the first 5 innings team total over for Philly is probably just 2. Then it's 2.5 plus 107 at Pinnacle. But if you get to 3 on that one, you get a win. All you need is 1 more for a push at Heritage. That is interesting. A 4. Wow. A 4.
Yeah,
and what are you seeing at Bet365?
I'm just grabbing it right now. Team total here over 4.5 minus 110. Yeah, so I'll definitely take that 4.
Okay, 4 minus 125. Philly over, team total over 4 minus 125. This is why line shopping with team totals is very important as well. Difference between 4 and 4.5, obviously, in MLB is massive, right? Philly team total over 4 minus 125. Jesus. I'll take that one too, Jim.
Dom's on it. He says, I'm on that Philly TT with you, Jim. You just sealed the deal.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I see it as a really nice spot.
Over 4 minus 125. I will double up on that one for sure, Jim. All right, I guess let's move on to the big game of the day. Yankees and Boston. I did take the Yankees on the opening line at about plus 133 is what I got. Now it's all the way down to a plus 118, although Intertops appears to still have a plus 125 here. And Intertop still has plus 125. I'd be leaning Yankees plus 1 here. I would also maybe be leaning Yankees on the second half. I think that their bullpen. I'm not exactly sure that they're going to leave Sale in for obviously Sale could have a complete game, but I'm thinking about Yankees second half and thinking about throwing on the Yankees plus 1 in this spot. Interesting showdown, Jim. What do you think, Jim?
I'm on the first 5 under. Nice cold weather. 2 excellent pitchers. Red Sox won 8 straight. Bogart's on the DL. Red Sox hitting 252, 733 OPS. Sale takes the mound. He's looked outstanding, as always. This Yankees group hits a combined 183 against them with 1 home run in 126 at-bats. Aaron Judge, 0 for 12, 10 strikeouts. Gardner, 4 for 23. Sanchez, 3 for 17, although we don't even know if Sanchez will be in the lineup. Severino's looked very good as well. 13 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 14 Ks. He's not looked great in the Red Sox in his career, but he's just a different pitcher now. Benintendi has hit him hard, 6 for 14, and Mitch Moreland 4 for 12, but that's it. Leon 1 for 10. Holt 1 for 7. Ramirez 4 for 19. Bradley 3 for 14. Betts 4 for 17. Stanton struck out 20 times. Sanchez missed the last 2 games. Yankees are hitting okay. I like this spot. First 5 under.
All right, and we can actually, if you want, let me just find it. We can you can take a 3.5 at a normal line, or you can take 4 at minus 140 at Bet Online, and Pinnacle has minus 141. So we can give you 3.5 minus 115 or a 4 minus 140, unless you want to check Bet 365. SBR Odds is not showing the Bet 365 lines here. If you want to check.
Yeah, I made this bet this morning, and I took a 4.
What was it? What are the odds?
I didn't make it an official pick. I just made the bet.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see what they're offering now.
Bet 365. Bet 365. Remember, use the 5-inning line, not the 4.5 inning line.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh shit! Sorry.
That's okay. Take your time. Jimmy the bag. Take your time. Jimmy the bag. 4 minus 140 is what Bet Online has right now. Pinnacle has 4 minus 141.
And here we have, down to 3.5 minus 115.
All right, so what would you like here?
I'll take the 4.
All right, Jim's going to take the Boston Yanks. First 5 innings, under 4, minus 140. That is the current line at Bet Online. That is definitely tempting, Jim. It's one of these no-brainer, super obvious plays that the public will probably be all over, but does make some sense. I mean, Severino's legit awesome. Chris Sale's legit awesome.
And it's cold. And so, obviously this isn't like hockey where you can simplify things too much, but I just feel like this is a nice spot.
Yeah. For now, I'm going to throw on the Yankees second half at minus 115, and I might wind up throwing on the Yankees plus 1 later on in this, not in this show, but in the evening show. Of course, we do review all the line moves, and we add other picks that were a borderline that we decided we want to give officially. I did bet the Yankees at plus 133. I'm going to have a bet on them at plus 1, and I'm also going to have obviously the Yankees on the second half, which is an official pick at minus 115. And I'm just looking at this one. Let's see what some comments are. I'm sure a ton of opinions on these. Medicine H2O says like that, but minus 140 G's. Yeah, I mean, Jim could take 3.5 minus 115, which would be a more normal line, but a lot of times it's great to have that extra half run when you're taking first 5 inning totals, Jim.
Yeah, I didn't do this all year in hockey with taking minus 140s, and I've done this in my past in baseball, and if we're going to be looking at my record every single day. If this is not working, I will make a switch.
Yes, absolutely. Tomarino says, I think Sale will be much more comfortable in the cold weather than Severino pitching in Chicago. Sale is more of a veteran than Severino, so you might say that Sale will have an advantage here. Let me see. What else do we have here?
Underdog asked me what's the 365 4.5 inning line for the under. And I just checked it out because I was planning on doing more of this year. It's under 3.5 at minus 145. So that's
okay.
Not something I like.
Dom Ricci got it at minus 135 at 4 this morning. Nice job, Don Ricci. Tomar says, I like backing Sale early in the year in big games. Now, I'm on the Yankees second half, and they might, if Sale is really dominating, they might let him get a complete game here, which is entirely possible. And if so, I'll eat the unit loss. But I love the Yankees bullpen, obviously, and I think the Yankees probably will have the edge here late. Tomarino says, I like Boston here. I think the Yankees depend on power, and they aren't the type of team that can consistently get hits to Sale. Yes, Tomarino, my play on the Yankees second half is an assumption / hope that Sale does not go too deep, which of course is very, very, very possible. Maybe likely. You know what I'm saying, Jim?
I'm much more comfortable with the first 5. I want to give a shout out again, and you do this best.
Yes.
Could you give a shout out to Kelly's Tavern? Because we're back on the big screen. He's got the boys together. They want to get that cash today.
How do you know that? Someone made a comment about it?
Of course, our man Chi-Town Beatdown,
He said that yep. Chi-Town Beat says, having a cold one with the fellas, your show is definitely better on the big screen. We are looking to make that money at Kelly's Tavern. I got the damn neighborhood on board with your show. We love it. Thank you so much. Chi-Town Beatdown. Shout out to Kelly's Tavern. Listen, when Jimmy the Bag and I get fired, hire us as bartenders. We'll do a great job. We'll do shows there every day. We'll be super friendly to all the patrons. We're very honest people. So when Jimmy the Bag and I get fired, what's it called? The Kelly's Tavern on the south side of Chicago. Hire us as bartenders.
I'm just going to be the dishwasher.
Jim will be the dishwasher.
I'm just going to be the weed smoking dishwasher
Jim
that everybody
will do double
loves.
Duty, dishwashing and everything. I will help strategize how to bring in more customers. You know what I'm saying? We'll do social media. Shout out to Kelly's Tavern, south side of Chicago.
Fuck yeah, man.
Fuck yeah. Hell yeah. All right. Let's see. What else do we have here? Let's see. All right. So let's move on. Jimmy the Bag. I am going to take the Yankees second half. Tomio Tomor makes a good point. He says that he thinks that the Yankees are going to have trouble getting to Sale. And when Sale is on, he can, get into the ninth inning with only 95 pitches. So it's entirely possible. Look, it's possible Sale throws a fucking no-hitter. You know what I'm saying? But I'm taking the Yankees on the second half, minus 115. Hopefully I'll cash or maybe just break even. All right, what else do we have? Let's talk about Toronto-Baltimore, Jimmy the Bag. This is a tough one. As you know, Jimmy the Bag, I'm vaguely high on Sanchez until, and again, maybe not necessarily if, but when, right? He gets some health issues, blister issues, who knows? But as of right now, I'm kind of high on Sanchez and Cashner. As always, a guy with some questionable peripherals, but he's a sinker baller who gets results. What's so funny? Funny shit.
Greg says, come on, Jimmy. You're better than the goddamn dishwasher. I'm not, Greg. I'm not, man. That's my sweet spot. It's my sweet spot, man. The drunken high dishwasher.
King Rail says, Pete is dressed like a sleazy club promoter. Yes, I am. Hey, we got the best club here. Come on into the club. The best club you could possibly want. Come in here. The low bag club. Come on in. Everybody come on in. Thank you so much, King Rail.
I don't know what to make of Sanchez, to be honest with you. I was a big believer in him. I've watched him pitch this year, and I don't know what's going on exactly. I think that there's going to be runs in this game.
You think so, huh?
Yeah, and I believe, are they hanging in 8?
On the Toronto Baltimore game. Yeah, let me find it. Are they hanging in 8? I'll have an answer for you right now. Jimmy the Bag, Toronto Baltimore. Yes, actually, it's split line, 8 or 8.5. Bookmaker has 8 minus 120, so they are. Yes.
Through 11 2/3, he's allowed 14 hits, 7 earned runs, but it's not that. It's 6 walks and 9 Ks.
Who are you talking about?
Sanchez. That's just not the Sanchez that I remember. And he's gripping the ball differently. He made a big deal about gripping the ball differently. I feel like he's overthinking things. He looked very good this spring, but something has changed. Cashner's looked okay so far. He allowed 4 home runs. He's allowed 4 home runs in 11 innings, but they're solo shots. He's not really getting touched other than that. 1.18 whip, 4.09 ERA. He's allowed just 1 earned run on 5 hits this spring. He looked good this spring. Blue Jays have hit 17 homers in 10 games. They're confident. They're feeling good. Yes, there's a light wind blowing in. Game will be 52 Fahrenheit at first pitch. But I'm thinking runs. Ulysses Hayes says under 8. Kevin K says Sanchez is raw stuff, 95 mile per hour heater, hammer curve, but hasn't fully translated it. It hasn't yet. I don't. Let's see. Ulysses Hayes says take Toronto money line guarantee.
I was definitely leaning Toronto on the first 5 innings, Jim. I am kind of a believer in Sanchez right now. I hear you that you can poke holes in almost every starting pitcher except for maybe Corey Kluber. But I was thinking about taking Toronto here. The only issue is just Cashner, man. I've gotten burned fading Cashner so much over the past year that I'm not sure I want to do it. This is a play. I'm definitely leaning Toronto first 5, but I'm going to hold off for now. I'll make a final decision during the afternoon, and then I will come back in the 6 o'clock show and let you know what my decision is.
I will take the over. Elio Rodriguez says Baltimore bats wake up. I trust the Baltimore bats. And the Jays bats are hot. They're not necessarily bats I trust over the long term, but they're hot right now. I'm going to take the over 8 at minus 120.
All right. Once again, yes. Over 8 minus. Let me see. Over 8 minus 120 was the line that I quoted you right before. It's now jumped up to an 8.5 at Bookmaker, but that's okay. We'll give you the line I quoted. 8 minus 120 at Bookmaker, and BetOnline still has 8 minus 125. Jim's going to take the over in Toronto, Baltimore. I'm leaning Toronto on the first 5 innings, but I'm going to hold off on an official play on that one for now. Now let's talk about the Mets in Miami. I was thinking about a shot with the under on this one, even though there's some big question marks with Smith. DeGrom, what do you think of DeGrom, Jim? You think DeGrom is going to have another strong start here?
I do. I do, but not enough for me to take the under. So after now you hammered on this game for a long time, I'm going to take the Mets team total over. I'm going to fade Caleb Smith and just because that's what I'm the most confident in doing here. Mets are 8-1, 6 games in a row they've won, lead the NL East, going for their 4th straight series win. They won. They're showing character, right? They won last night 4-2 despite 12-inning game the night before and getting into their Miami hotel at 5 a.m. Matched their best 9 start in franchise history, 1.31 bullpen ERA, overall team ERA of 2.40. Mets are hitting. Actually, they're just hitting 587 OPS versus lefties in a small sample size this year. which gives me a tiny bit of concern. But DeGrom has looked excellent. Mm-hmm. And I think he continues to do it. Caleb Smith has not. He looked good in his first start, but then he had trouble. So my only worry about Caleb Smith is that, he had trouble at Citizens Bank Park. Will he come home and be comfortable again?
Yeah, I mean, the big issue for Smith, as it is for most starting pitchers or many starting pitchers, especially young guys, is control. His first start of the season at home against the Cubs was decent.
It was good. It was definitely good.
It's just a matter of his control. 6
walks in his last start.
Yeah.
And we know that this Mets ball club is confident and is going to sit back and wait. Callaway, Mickey was talking about, he said they know they're good. And I could see it. Like, you can just sort of see it by their swagger right now. This Mets team knows they're good. They're a complete ball club.
Jay Sandercock says the Mets are sick this year. What do they have, and how long is this going to last? He's saying this week or just this year?
No, he means they're very good.
Oh, he did it and got me again on that one. I got you.
Because that would be like some sort of horrible virus that lasted the whole year.
Yeah, this year. He's
some
like
sort of plague.
Like mono. Like
mono.
The Mets have the plague this year. Yeah. All right, what else do you have, Jimmy the Bag?
So I am on the Mets team total over.
All right, 4.5 minus 116 is the current line at Pinnacle. I was thinking about a shot with the under here. Obviously you're going to need a strong start from Smith. You can't have control issues, but I was thinking about a shot with the under. Tomori says the Mets bullpen has been great. DeGrom isn't the same pitcher on the road, and Smith seems like in a good bounce back spot at home.
Yeah, and there's Naz Lee says Miami going to win today, and Mets my team. Bonzone, my man Jansen, says Miami's just bad.
Yeah. I was thinking under here, Jim.
Yeah, no, I can understand that. And it took me a while to figure out exactly how I wanted to play it, and I'm very comfortable where I'm sitting.
Okay.
Because they could hit that over 4.5 easily. You could still hit the under.
Yeah, definitely. All right, what else do you like here, Jimmy the Bag?
I believe that is all, because I haven't done the final 6 games of the card. I do have the Angels-Rangers capped, and I do have the Fulton-David-Strasburg game capped.
Okay, well, let's talk about Angels-Rangers. I believe Ohtani is going to be in the lineup tonight, right?
I believe so.
That's what he should be. Yesterday, I had the Angels second half. It cashed. Jimmy the Bag had, what did you have yesterday? You had the Angels -1 or minus 1.5. Yeah. And did you have the team total over? No, but you were thinking about it.
I wish I had added it in.
Should have just took it. Should have done just took it, Jimmy the Bag. Yeah. I'm looking at this game today. Look, Martin Perez is a guy who, in general, is very unreliable. Once in a while, does absolutely have, a 7-inning, 1-run, 2-strikeout type start. And he could do that again here. But if that doesn't happen, I got to be thinking the same. I got to be thinking Angels -1, Angels team total over, and Angels second half, Jim.
I can understand that. I'm going to need a little more time. First off, I'm not sure that Skaggs is completely a different pitcher this year. And I was hesitant when he started his first couple starts, and you weren't. And it was, you were right. Angels are rolling. They won 8 of 11 to start the year, won the opener easily. Skaggs has looked good through 2 starts, 11 innings, 8 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 10 Ks. He has terrible numbers versus the Rangers, but he does look like a different pitcher this year. 8 career starts, 6.57 ERA. 4 starts against the Rangers last year, 7.79 ERA. 3 starts at Globe Life Park, 9 ERA. But the Angels were terrible versus lefties last year. Clearly, this is a different team.
Yeah.
So we don't need to care really about those stats. In 68 at bats versus lefties this year, 250, 703 OPS compared to the 649 OPS, 231 average they had last year. I agree. Martin Perez can have these kind of outings where 0 walks, 1 K, but he gets through 6 or 7.
Yes.
He allows hits. He had allowed 10 hits, but just 3 earned runs. That's sort of how he pitches.
Yeah.
He's gone 4-4 with a 3.27 ERA over 12 games versus the Angels. They've lost, the Rangers have lost Odor. They hit below average versus lefties last year, and through 98 at-bats have a 680 OPS against them this year. I'm not making a move on this play at this point.
Kobe Valentine says Martin Perez might be worse than Homer Bailey. I am going to take the Angels once again on the second half. It's -140 right now at Pinnacle. I'm gonna take that one. DJ Big Boss says Angels are going to start off great and dump out in August. That might happen. Justin Series says Angels win. I don't know if I'm jumping on that run line just yet. Elio Rodriguez says Texas has value right after him. So Justin Searcy likes the Angels. Elio Rodriguez likes Texas. Let's see. Walter Trotter III says Angels are the play. Texas aren't going to be good this year. I would vaguely agree with that as well. Let's see. Chi-Town Beatdown says Ohtani is balling. Absolutely, Chi-Town Beatdown. Elio Rodriguez says this is a bounce back. Texas is not that bad. Jensen Bonzone says Texas has only Andrews hitting. Rob Chambers likes the Angels over. I don't know if he means team total over or the full game over, but I was also thinking that just the full game over at 9 might be okay.
It might be okay. I think that's the most appealing option to me right now. What would we get for the overnight?
I bet it at 9. I didn't check what the line is right now, but I bet that on the overnight at 9.
Could we check it? Because I'd be interested in maybe jumping on it.
Let's see. Sure, we can. Let's check the totals. MLB totals. LA Angels. Yes, it's 9.5, except for the Greek, which is still hanging there at 9 minus 125.
Yeah, I'm not going to make a move right now. Chi-Town Beatdown says, Jimmy, don't be scared. And Chi-Town Beatdown, I'm not 2 beers in. Feeling good at 12:45 in the afternoon, which I wish I was at Kelly's Tavern. I'd be more than 2 because I would have about 2 or 3 shots of Jameson.
All right, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Right now, I did bet this one at 9 on the opening line, on the overnight line. I am going to take the over 9 right now at minus 125 for the Greek. If I decide that I really don't like it, I'll just take it back. I'm sure that it's not going to be. I'm sure I'll be able to take it back at 9.5. There might even possibly be 10 in the evening show. But
the idea being that there's definitely not going to be an over 9 when we come back.
Not definitely. I mean, it's possible that the Greek will still be there at 9 minus 125, but I'd say it's more likely that that the line goes up than down market wide from here.
Yes, I agree. I think there is very likely not going to be a 9 available.
All right,
maybe I should jump on it now.
Well, whatever you want to do here, Jim. I'm going to do that one over 9 minus 125. I did bet that one on the overnight line. Again, it was half because I thought I would like it and half because I felt very confident that the line would move up and that I'd be able to hedge out if I decided later on that I didn't like it. We do want to keep a brisk pace here,
okay,
Jim.
I'll jump on the over.
Are you sure?
On the over. Yeah, I don't think there'll be a 9 when we come back.
Okay, Jim's going to take Texas over 9 minus 125. That's the current line at the Greek. We do want to get to NBA, and then we want to talk a little bit about NHL, which is super fun. We do have San Diego, Colorado, Lucchesi on the mound against Tyler Anderson. This is another one where I was thinking that the over at 10 might be worth a shot, where it's not going to be. BetOnline still has 10 minus 135, but I'm not sure that's going to be available in the evening show. And Lucchesi's been pretty good. This might be another shot to take San Diego. I know you're fading. You're taking all the underdogs at minus 1.5, and yesterday San Diego did win, but only by 1, Jim. I'm thinking San Diego might once again have a little bit of value here, Jim.
Well, I don't need any capping for this to happen.
Are you going to add it on?
Of course.
All right. What's the line you're taking here, Jim?
I haven't thrown it on this morning. I was caught up with stuff, so I'll see what Bet365 is offering right now.
All right, you're going to tweet it out because I'll tell you what Pinnacle has, but I doubt it's it's better than what Bet365 is going to have here, Jim.
Alternative run line. I'm getting plus 225.
Okay, so we'll give you San Diego minus 1.5 plus 225. I might have a play on that one. I want to look into it a little bit more. Obviously, you have to be, there's indicators of whether a pitcher was likely to do well or not so well at Coors. So I'm going to look into that a little bit more. But Jim's taking San Diego minus 1.5, minus 1.5 plus 125. Let me just see, just for shits and giggles. Let's see that's an annoying phrase. I'm going to stop saying that. I just want to see what idea. It's fucking annoying. It's not cool. And most of what I do is cool, but that's not. You know what I'm saying, Jim? Shits and giggles, it's just not cool. It's lame in every way. All right, let's see. What do we have here? San Diego at Pinnacle. San Diego Padres. Where the hell is it? Plus 215. Yeah, at Pinnacle. So we're going to give you plus 225 at Bet365. All right.
Everybody on the Rockies, everyone's saying minus 1 is today's value. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter. CRC knows what the play is. Shout out to Nostra Toda. Shout out to the great Coors Field fade.
And I'm also going to take Atlanta on the second half at plus 125. Fultonavich against Strasburg. Strasburg's looking great. I don't think they're going to have him go deep here. He's a guy who usually goes 6 innings at most. And Fultonavich, Washington seeing him again. And I'm not exactly sure what we're going to expect from Fultonavich here, but I'm taking Atlanta second half plus 125 as an official pick as well.
Yeah, but I mean, Strasburg did not look good in his last start. So we, with the sample size small, Strasburg's the kind of guy that if he doesn't get hurt, I expect him to get better as the year goes on. But injuries are always going to be the issue with him. Fultonavich outpitched Scherzer last week, snapped his 8-game winless streak. 4 hits, 1 run, 5 in the third against Washington. Struck out 8, walked 2. Will they be able to hit him harder this second go-round? Probably. Goodwin's 5 for 8 against them. Turner 5 for 12. Harper 3 for 11. Braves are hitting very well. 267, 786 OPS. Strasburg didn't pitch against the Braves in Atlanta, but the Mets touched him. 4 runs, 5 hits, 2 homers in 6 innings. He's 10-9 with a 4.06 ERA in 27 games against the Braves. Markakis 9 for 28. Freeman hits him hard. 15 for 40, 4 homers, 13 RBIs. Zimmerman's batting .097. That's what happens when you have 2 at-bats in the spring when you're healthy because you're too good for spring training. I'm not sure what to do with this game yet. I'm not sure what to do with this game.
Okay, we do want to wrap it up. Once again, at 6 o'clock, we'll cover all the MLB games once again in depth. Another interesting game is KC against Seattle. We had the under in that one, and Judas did chuck a shutout, but KC all of a sudden exploded for 10 runs. Is this offense maybe not too bad now? Because, maybe the first half might be worth a shot here on the over 4.5. I'm not a believer in Felix. His last start was not good. Definitely not a believer in Skoglund as of right now. And what do you think, Jim? Over 4.5, first 5? I don't know.
I think it's a nice play. I need time. I haven't capped these last 6 games.
Okay.
So I'll let you run with it, but yeah. I'd like to hear what you're on, so it gives me help.
Yeah, I'm thinking about that one, and then in the Houston-Minnesota game, I'm also not totally sold on Odorizzi right now, and I would be thinking about the Houston team total over. I think Houston might have a bigger day here against Minnesota, but I'm gonna hold off on that for now, and I'll make a final decision on that in the evening show. Thinking about maybe the over on that game or Houston on the team total over. Okay, so let's recap all the MLB picks we've given. I gave Philly team total over 4, Pittsburgh second half -110, Philly -1, Yanks second half -115, Texas over 9, Atlanta second half +125, and the Angels second half -140. Jim has given Texas over 9, Philly team total over 4 -125, Baltimore over 8 -120, San Diego -1.5 +225, Mets team total over 4.5 -116, Tampa Bay money line -108, and Detroit first half +167, and the Boston Yankees first half under 4 -140. Those are all the plays that we've given. And again, plays that I'm thinking about, leaning towards, thinking about the over in Houston, Minnesota, thinking about the Houston team total over, thinking about throwing on the Angels -1, maybe the Angels team total over, maybe thinking about the under in the Mets-Miami game, thinking about throwing on the Yankees +1, although I'm probably not going to do that, thinking about Toronto first 5 with Sanchez going, thinking about what else am I thinking about here, and that's about it as of right now. Jimmy the Bag. We'll talk about Milwaukee, St. Louis in the evening show. We'll definitely talk about the Arizona, San Francisco, a pitching change in that game.
Molecular Ninja has an idea, but he's got this idea thinking that it's Cueto pitching, which we know it's already been changed. So
yes.
Why is there? Because that happened while I was here at work. Why is Cueto not in?
I guess an injury, right?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Usually it is, Jimmy the Bag.
The D-backs, he likes Molecular Ninja's going to have to rethink this this spot with the pitching change.
You do that, Molecular Ninja. You do that. All right, let's move on to NBA. Jimmy the Bag. Jimmy the Bag, I know that you tweeted out a bunch of plays in the NBA.
One.
Just the one. Oh, just the Charlotte. Well, I didn't tweet it out, but I bet it. I bet the Charlotte game at +5.5. I was thinking I was going to give it, and I wasn't sure I wanted to hear what everyone else has to say. Well, now it's down to 2.5 or 3. Obviously, they played recently. I believe this game means nothing to Indiana from a playoff perspective.
It means absolutely nothing. And I could have actually got +6.5. I just couldn't tell if it was a stale line or not, and I just went with the market that was giving +5.5 just so there'd be no issues around it. Second half of a home and home. Pacers beat them 123-17 with everybody on board. Yeah. But McMillan said his players were tired in that game. So they will be resting players tonight. Malik Monk is playing excellent.
Yeah.
The Hornets said they're going to try to get a win in this last game of the year. So I just think this is now at the line that it is now, I'd still probably take it.
Yeah. So what line did you get, Jimmy the Bag?
I got +5.5.
Wow, very nice. Jim got Charlotte at +5.5 at -110, right? -110. You know, you think this line's going to move even more? I bet it at 5.5, and I could have tweeted it out right there. Why didn't I do it? I just didn't fucking feel like it. So stupid, right? I could have got it at 5.5. Now it's down 2.5 or 3. Maybe I'll just take them at +3 anyway, or like the team total over, or the Indiana team total under, or something like that, Jim. I'm going to look into this game a little bit more, and then I'll have some decisions. And if I make a decision that I want to lock in before the 6 o'clock show, I will definitely tweet it out. Let's talk. So Jim's on Charlotte plus 5.5 minus 110. Philly Atlanta is an interesting game as well. I believe Philly is playing for something here technically, but not necessarily something that they care. They're playing for the number 3 seed. They're trying to lock it in, right?
They are. They're still playing for it.
Yeah.
So, and they have, they've won 14 straight.
Mm-hmm.
I find we took a lot of time with the NBA card yesterday, trying to really pinpoint who was going to be trying and who wasn't, and it was hugely successful.
Yeah.
So this Sixers-Hawks, I want to talk it out with everybody. First off, Robert Balla gave a great comment. I've copied and pasted it. We'll get to it in a bit, but thank you, Robert Balla, for that. This is an interesting spot. Sixers coming off their 14th straight win. They've won 6 straight without Embiid. This team has a ton of depth, 7 players averaging double digits, beating the Hawks in both previous games by 10. But the Hawks are playing well. They've won 2 straight on the road. Prince is an absolute beast right now. He just went 7 for 8 from 3, scored 33 points. They won 3 of 5. Chi-Town Beatdown says Philadelphia will cover. Donald Mao says Philly will win, but don't think they'll cover.
Yeah, it is a tricky spot. They did play recently, of course. That was when the season was a lot more on the line in Atlanta, and Philly won 101-91. So I was thinking maybe lean under, maybe lean Atlanta plus the points. Although Hal Abrams says in all caps there will be no defense played in the NBA tonight, and we do see that a lot in these.
We certainly didn't see it last night, though.
Right.
But I hear that. Hoops 590 says 76ers 110, Atlanta 103. Mr. Cloudkick says Pacers should dominate. And I mean, in what world? I just don't. I mean, I've looked at that roster, and they don't have enough key players. They're going to rest all those key players.
Chi-Town Beatdown says Indiana Charlotte over, and Christian Riva says love the under on Charlotte Indiana.
Yeah, these totals are extremely difficult this time of year. You need to really break down who is trying, who is not. Bill Butlicker says reading Simmons may sit. We had somebody just mention that Simmons has an illness, and Fultz could start. With McConnell on the bench, I mean, obviously Simmons is extremely important, but these guys want to show what they can do. I find it very, very difficult. Chi-Town Beatdown says if Simmons sits, I'll rethink that pick. Absolutely. I think this is a spot that needs to take time. Really take time and figure out who's in, who's trying, who isn't.
Tom Marino with interesting comments. As always, he says, Philadelphia has beaten Atlanta repeatedly, but Atlanta is playing hard. That's true. I'd be shocked if Philly isn't flat here. And then on the other side, he says, Philly isn't resting players. They need this game. The 3 seed is key in the East. You avoid Toronto and Cleveland. And Mr. Cloudkick says this is not tricky. Sixers will dominate.
Yes.
And then Payless Way says, I think Atlanta comes in the back door.
And Luis Fernando Esquinca says, sketchy as fuck card, and he's the one doing our song.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
Man,
Awesome,
Luis
awesome,
Fernando.
awesome. Hoops 590 says the under is best 220. I was thinking that as well, unless you think that just, whether Philly wants to win or lose, they'll do it without defense. I was thinking the under might be a play as well. They met recently in Atlanta. It was a very low-scoring game. I know a lot of times Philly can be in the stratosphere, but I was thinking under, Jim.
I like that idea. I need more time. I just need more. These games, unlike during the season, you can't make educated decisions until you know exactly what's going on.
Hoops 590 predicts Sixers 110, Atlanta 103, which would indicate a cover by Atlanta and an under.
Look at what Tomor says. This is so interesting. If Simmons is out, I think Philly dominates. If he plays, I think they're flat. I tell you what, if it's Fultz and McConnell, they will have something to prove, man. They still have something to prove. Rich Banks says, I think the only game worth betting in NBA is Denver tomorrow. And Rich is such a sharp NBA capper, and he knows how tricky these games are right now. Although I did go 5-1 yesterday, but that took a whole day of planning.
Yeah.
And adding and figuring out, just because you need to keep getting information as it goes on. I mean, obviously, when we find... I got the gift that Drummond was out.
Yeah. Well, the Phoenix and Dallas and Houston Lakers games did not have overnight lines, so I did not look at them. The only place I was thinking about, I did bet Charlotte a plus 5.5. Now it's down to a 3, of course. Philly, Atlanta, I was leaning Atlanta, maybe, and leading a little bit stronger to the under at the 220, although that line has gotten bet up. Boston, Washington. Washington is just not looking good. They're not covering. Should they be a fave here? Are they going to come to play here? I'm not exactly sure. over. The Washington is definitely pretty rested for this one. What do you have to say about Boston, Washington? My note on this one is a complete pass. And then Golden State, Utah. Obviously, a lot of people are resting for Golden State. Utah is a 7-point favorite, and I was thinking maybe a shot with the under on this one. Utah is been playing great. Won 5 in a row, but only covered 3 of those. Those are the 4 games that did have overnight lines. What do you think about Boston, Washington, or Golden State, Utah? Any other picks, Jim?
I do have another pick, and we can touch on those games, but I'm taking the Lakers tonight.
Okay.
D'Antoni already said that, and I wish I wrote down the quote. I don't know why I didn't, but basically he said that everyone's going to play other than Eric Gordon and Ryan Anderson, but Paul and Harden may play about a quarter. And he made the point of saying a quarter, and I trust that. And then Luke Walton is just all over Josh Hart. Like, there's players on the Lakers that are still trying, and Josh Hart's one of them. Put up 25 points. He has over 20 in back-to-back games. Walton's raving about him. Kuzma is now questionable, and I don't think he plays. Even if he doesn't play, I think the Lakers have enough people that care, really care, and that's why I like this spot. Rockets coming off the 108-102 loss to OKC, and they're just letting go now. And so I'm on the Lakers.
All right, +8 -110 is the best line right now at Pinnacle. Golden State, Utah, Boston, Washington. Any other picks you have, Jim?
No, I find now I've got these games capped, and I'm going to keep an eye on it. But I mean, like a game like the Suns Mavericks. I mean, Phoenix didn't suit up Booker, Chandler, Chris, Jackson, Peyton, Warren, and Williams in their final home game, and now they've locked down the worst record in the league. So will a couple of them get to play? I'm sure they'll ask to play. So will the Suns now, because now they can win the game. But the Mavs have to lose. The Mavs have to lose this game to ensure that they're get the third spot in the draft. So they're already playing without Nowitzki, Matthews, Barea. Now Dennis Smith and Dwight Powell are questionable. So I'm going to spend. I think the Suns could be a really easy spot here as the information comes in.
King Rail saying you have to play these games halves or quarterly to profit tonight. And then Donald Mao says, I'll wait till the late show and the line movement to make a decision on Philly. Yes, that might be those are two very good points there. Think about quarters and halves from King Rail. And this might be a good spot to wait till line movement to make a decision on these. I'm going to analyze all these games in the afternoon and make my final decisions on the Atlanta-Philly game and other games in the evening show. It'll be interesting to see what the line movements are. And, we got some interesting stuff coming in. Let me just get to all the comments that are coming in. Hoops 590 says Suns 99, Mavericks 104. Donald Mao says Steve Kerr's comment hurt some of the Warriors' feelings in the locker room. Rich Bank says Suns putting out a G League roster tonight. Luis Fernando Esquinza says Mavs blowout. Greg Schneider likes Houston first quarter. Medicine H2O says the Wizards must win for them to get in form for the playoffs, in my opinion. Yeah. I mean, what's your take on the Wizards? Are they just a dumpster fire that's playoff bound or what?
Yes, but don't you feel like when you look at this game that the Wizards have to win this and the Celtics don't care?
Yeah, but dumpster fires don't win. When they have to. They're not good bets as favorites almost in any situation, and they usually don't make the playoffs, except in this spot they do.
Well, I can't take the Wizards at -7. I mean, that's just ridiculous with the way they're playing. But John Wall will be back in the lineup, but for how long? Probably not long. These games are very confusing.
Christopher Carter says Chris Paul is going to walk around for a quarter. He's always too cool for school. I like the play. He's referring to Rockets team total under.
Yes. What is the Rockets team total under?
Rockets team total under, I can tell you right now what that would be. Jimmy the Bag. Let me just quickly bring up that. Let's see. Team totals here. NBA, Houston Rockets team total would be 113.
113. I mean, how there's
Chris
just no
Paul
way.
Too cool for school. That is awesome, though.
There's no way.
Living.
There's no way they're going to get to 113 points. I don't see there is any way. That's a great play. See, this is what it takes.
Yes,
this is how you figure out how to win in the last couple of days. That is an absolute. Who said that play?
Hoops 590 said it, and then Christopher Carter backed it up, saying Paul's going to walk around for one quarter. He is always too cool for school. I like the play.
You guys are absolutely right. I'm on that right now.
You want it?
Yes.
All right, 113 -109. Let me just Houston team total under 113 -109. That's the current line.
That's what it takes to win at this time of the year, and that's what worked for me yesterday. Was us talking it out and talking it out and talking it out and waiting and thinking and talking it out.
It absolutely worked with the Clippers team total under. All right, Jim, we do want to touch on NHL just a little bit. Anything else you want to get to, Jim?
No, that's great. I'm going to keep looking at these basketball games, and we can find edges. Like last night was easy, but it took a lot of time and talking with a bunch of guys and just doing what we're doing now. So
yes.
I think there's no reason why we can't find edges in this shit card if we all work together.
Yes. Antoine Seymour says first quarter over 56, but doesn't say which game. Not sure which game he's talking about there. Frank Alexander likes Utah. Al Mack says I'm on Utah. Not applicable likes the Jazz. Melos Palos Way likes the Wizards first quarter. Ulysses Hayes likes Boston. Okay.
Wizards first half, Antoine Seymour saying, oh, that's what he was talking about?
Okay.
What was that? Because
first quarter over 56, but didn't indicate which game.
I think the Wizards should be fighting. They should play well in the first half. I think that's. I'm not going to make that play yet, but that's the kind of play where we can find an edge here in this last couple of days of the
Kevy K says, wait, what was the edge we just found? According to Jim and a few other commenters, Houston Rockets team total under 113 minus 109, and one commenter has made a specific prediction that Chris Paul is just going to walk around the court for a quarter like he's too cool for school, which he pretty much is, and that will indicate betting value on the under in the team total for Houston.
They're going to do nothing. They love LA. They love sitting there on the bench. They're going to do absolutely nothing. Him and Harden, they're going to be, really funny on the sidelines.
Just living. Just living, Jim,
man.
without a care in the world.
Yeah,
hey,
man.
Listen, if that's who you wind up being in life, that's what you're entitled to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Chris Paul is too cool for. If I was too cool for school, I'd walk around like I was too cool for school all day, motherfucking long. Let me just quickly check what Heritage team total is for Houston. Maybe it's even no, it's 112.5. All right, so Pinnacle has the best line at 113. All right, Jim, shall we move on?
Yes, but just one that King Rail says, shouldn't we be on Golden State? Isn't this the same situation as Blazers game last night? Do you mean on the under? That's what he must mean, right? Shouldn't we be on the Golden State under?
No, he's talking about Golden State just plus getting 7.
The Golden State has nothing to play for, and the Jazz are still trying to get that third seed. So the Jazz, I mean.
All right, let's move on, Jim.
Okay, but the Jazz should smash them.
Yes, a lot of great comments. We will analyze NBA a lot more in depth in the 6 o'clock show as well. Let's just quickly get to
Look at that!
Happened?
I have to stop here. Carlos Barrage, the Morris twins at MGM National Harbor late last night shooting craps. They don't care.
They don't care at all, Jim.
So they're playing against each other today. They're hoping not to meet up in the playoffs in the Celtics Wizards. So that to me that means no defense. To me that means it should be an offensive game. That's what that means to me. Doesn't that?
So you'd be leaning over in Boston, Washington? Yes,
because if they're playing, no one cares. These are the Morris brothers are defense first basketball players. They don't care.
It is a low total. 206.5 is where it opened. It's now down to 205.5. We might see 208.5 if you're right by the 6 o'clock show, Jim.
Well, again, I think that this takes time, and I'm not. But that's what that means to me. Carlos is just giving us a gift here. Yes, that's the play.
Are you sure, Jim? Okay.
Yes, that's the play. I mean, there's going to be no defense whatsoever. John Wall's going to be back.
Okay, you want this one, Jim?
You know what? I'm not going to take it yet. I'm going to need more time on it. But that's the play, I think.
Okay, so let's quickly move on. I guess we should review the the NBA picks that we have given. I've given actually none in NBA. I'm going to wait and make my official picks in the evening show. And Jim has given Charlotte plus 5.5. He tweeted that one out earlier, so he gets that line. He locks it in. And he took the Houston team total under 113 minus 109 and the Lakers plus 8 minus 110. And that's it, right, Jim?
Yep.
All right, let's move on to NHL. Any other thoughts about the NHL playoffs that you want to discuss here? Let me just see. We do have some specific outcomes now here at Pinnacle. The odds are out for every single series right now. For example, let's say you really like Nashville. Let's see, where are the odds for Nashville to get a sweep over Colorado? Would be plus 381. You think the Preds can get a sweep?
Yes.
Plus 381 would be the odds there. The specific results are now out at Pinnacle. Jimmy the Bag, open-ended question. What are your general thoughts that you'd like to discuss NHL playoffs-wise?
I am going to be adding a couple future plays on my record. And I've been thinking about it. I am going to add the Predators a unit play. Now, I'm not going to lock it in right now, but I believe I'm going to add a play on the Predators to win the West, to win the Cup, and a play on the Pens to win the West and to win the Cup. I think that the Bruins are a very, very, very difficult team, and it's so sad that the Leafs have to play them in the first round. And the Leafs have the skill to give them trouble. And so anybody who's betting either team, like anyone in a playoff pool, I mean, if it's just so dangerous to take either the Bruins or the Leafs because, God, they're just it's just that's the toughest matchup there is in this first round. But I think the Ducks have a ton of value. What's the Ducks series against the Sharks?
The Ducks against the Sharks. I believe it was a relatively low line for the Ducks. Let me find it. Yes, it was Ducks minus 113, Sharks plus 102 at Pinnacle right now. Wow. Just to win the series.
Wow, that's nice. I'm gonna jump on some of these. I'm gonna need to take more time, and so I'd like to put out all my picks. I guess when would be the best time?
Anytime, Jim.
Okay.
I mean, the series shit starts tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
So you could do it in the 6 o'clock show. You could tweet them out. You could do them in the 12 o'clock show tomorrow, and I believe that would be. Oh no, wait a minute. Yeah, you could even do it in the 6 o'clock show tomorrow, right? These are no day games, right?
Yeah, there's no day games.
Whenever you feel like it, Jim, I'm going to look at this stuff too. Maybe I'll take a home run swing or two at a specific result.
Buy Direct Sports says bet on Vegas and Pitt, and there's just not a chance that I'm going to bet on Vegas. Not that they can't win the series, but they're going to be hard pressed to pull it off. And I think there's just no way that they're capable of beating the Kings and the Ducks in back-to-back series. No way. No way. The Kings are just going to hurt them. You know, now, yes, Vegas has a ton of speed, but God, and then that helps in the playoffs. There's no question about it. But when you play guys like Doughty every second day, they're in a very, very tough spot.
All right, so in general, your general thoughts are you're leaning Anaheim over the Sharks at minus 113, Jim?
Yes, I'm leaning Anaheim for sure.
And a lot of people in yesterday's show were suggesting that the Devils might be a good bet. They're right now plus 272 just to win against Tampa Bay. But if you figure that it's not going to be a short series, that Tampa Bay is going to, win a game or two or three, the Devils to win in 7 plus 782, and the Devils to win in 6 plus 693.
Wow.
Kobe Valentine, though, suggested that Tampa Bay to win in 6 was the way to go. That is plus 426.
Wow. So why would you buy if you're taking the Devils to win the series? Then why wouldn't you take them to win in 6 or win in 7?
Well, you could because you're getting you'll be getting better odds.
Nate Dogg says, Jimmy, you got to relax. Toronto wins. They own Boston in the regular season. I go with Babcock experience. Would you rather have your coach with experience or the players on your hockey team with experience? Nate Dogg, what would you? I mean, because personally, I'd rather have the guys on the fucking bench having any playoff experience than Babcock, whom I love, but I don't see that happening.
All right,
Ulysses Hayes says, fade them Devils. It will be a sweep.
A sweep. All right, let me see what the odds are for a sweep there. I'm looking here at Pinnacle, of course. Tampa Bay to sweep plus 535.
That's that's really interesting stuff if you're trying just to predict getting
the
an
exact
angle
result.
That. Yeah.
Flyers against the Pens. You got to figure the Flyers are it's not gonna be a sweep for Pittsburgh, right? Could be.
No. I love the Pens in this series, but you think that the Flyers could win a game.
All right, Pens in 6 plus 410. Pens in 7 plus 414.
Wow. I think. God. Because I'm not going to want to hit the puck lines like I do in the regular season, right? This is very, very exciting. It's very exciting to be sitting here. And
so easy to fuck with Jim's mind. Just talk about NHL and start quoting big underdog lines.
It's very exciting.
It's so easy. Yeah, it's fun.
It's very exciting. It's very, very exciting. If you're looking for a dog. A dog line. I take a team to win the conference. I mean, because even who can beat Pittsburgh in a 7-game series? And if when I look at the Eastern Conference, I don't see anybody that can.
Well, Pittsburgh is right now the third choice to win the East at Pinnacle at plus 450.
Remember, in the 5th choice on Bet365. I mean, and to me, I just think that no one in the East can beat Pittsburgh. And then in the West. the only team that can beat Nashville. I don't think any team can beat Nashville. I don't even think the Jets can beat Nashville. And you want to go back to talking about experience? I mean, that's just these Jets have never been there and never done that. Nashville could lose the first 2 games against the Jets at home and come back and win that series. And I think one thing to do to find the dog lines is to wait and make in-series bets.
All right, well, let's look at some comments here. Let me see. G-Man Hag says the Bruins will get more scoring production out of their defense, and that will be the difference. Kobe Valentine says if Toronto beats Boston, they're making it to the finals. And Ulysses Hayes says Tampa will show up. It's playoff time.
You know, a couple things here. Nate Dogg 420 says fade Toronto, Jimmy. We will see in the end. Toronto's an excellent hockey team. I'm not going to bet on Boston to win playoffs. And in my playoff pools, I won't take players from either of those teams because it can fuck you. It can just fuck you. Kevin K says, Jimmy, you were biased by the past. Yes. When you win cup after cup after cup, I believe you will continue winning the cup. And he says Pitt goaltending is not the same. It is the same. It's Matt Murray still, and he had a bad year, and he can make up for it in the playoffs. It's the same. Now, he's injury prone, and if he gets hurt, it's DeSmith and not Fleury that'll come in the save the day. But no, I'm not yet. Oh, and of course, yes, I'm biased by the past. I'm biased by the past. I just watched Nashville make this Stanley Cup final and then win the league. I am biased. I think they're going to win the Western Conference with not much problem.
Hal Abrams says the Kings are very tough in any series. They wear you down. And Michael Ervolina predicts Kings win in 6. They are too physical. Kings win in 6. They are too physical. And Cleveland Steam R says the Anaheim Ducks trending very nicely headed into the Sharks. Let's see what the Kings in 6 would be, and then we will wrap it up. That might be interesting. The LA Kings to beat the Knights in 6 plus 405.
Wow, that's very, very exciting.
All right, Jimmy the Bag, we have gone way over.
I know we've gone way over, but before we stop, I'm taking that over in the Wizards-Celtics game.
Okay.
It makes perfect sense.
Okay.
If the Morris brothers are out playing craps and they don't care and nobody cares, there's going to be buckets. There's going to be a ton of buckets.
Okay, Washington over 205.5 minus 103. That's the current line at Pinnacle. And Jimmy the Bag has just taken over 205.5 minus 103 in the Boston-Washington game. We've done a lot of discussing of the NHL playoffs odds, which is always very fun. So I think it was worth it that we went over our usual time that we try to limit to about an hour. But we'll discuss the NHL playoffs odds even more in the 6 o'clock show. And, of course, analyze all the line moves in MLB and NBA. And maybe throw on some extra picks, Jimmy the Bag. We'll be back at 6 o'clock Eastern time. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in.